How's everybody doing? My name is Herman Hubero, and we're going to get right into the point here. New York Yankees 2010 off-season moves and 2010 predictions. Uh, Steve, what's up, man? What do you think about this? What's up?
It's that time again. It's baseball season.
Here we go. First question. Why doesn't Derek Jeter have his contract extended through 2011?
You know, that's a fantastic question, and honestly, it's one of the biggest disgraces in this franchise in the past 10 years, I'd say.
There's no way. Or are you going to put him in the free agents? Ridiculous. I agree. Completely wrong.
Honestly, it's a huge disgrace. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed to be a Yankee fan because of it. This is the man who's been here for 15 years. Absolutely been a class act in New York City where a lot of bad things can happen. I mean, ask Darryl Strawberry, ask Doc Gooden, ask a bunch of young talented guys who have really ruined their careers because of off the field stuff. This man's never had an issue off the field. He's been the consummate professional, and he's led us to 5 championships, including a World Series MVP there. So it's not like he's the key to the franchise for 15 years, him and Rivera. And we're going to sit here and disrespect him and send him to free agency. Travesty. It shouldn't happen. Don't let it happen again, Steinbrenners.
Randy Wynn, Johnny Damon. Who do you think is better and why?
I think a 5-year-old could tell you that Johnny Damon's a better player than Randy Wynn. No disrespect, Randy Wynn. You're on my team now. I'll cheer for you. But Johnny Damon provides a championship pedigree. He provides clutch situational hitting. I mean, ask the Phillies about that. And that's something that Randy Wynn simply cannot replace. What they did here was just say, screw it, we're going to go for defense.
Granderson in the outfield. Is he gonna let the pressure get to him, or will he put up numbers like last year? 30 home runs, very impressive. Um, is he gonna have that type of season in Yankee Stadium?
That's something that we just don't know. Some players come to New York and they just can't do it. I know that Granderson is an all-star, a perennial all-star at that, and that he's been to a World Series before. But I was watching those games when Detroit beat us in '05, '06, one of those years there. And Granderson didn't really have too big of a part to do with it. And one last thing about Granderson. His defense was pretty shoddy last year, and he's going to play center field for us this year. And let me tell you something, Kirk. You're going to have to perform. I mean, last year, the guy was like dropping balls in the outfield. For someone who's so outstanding one year defensively and then just can't find the rhythm next year, I don't understand. So,
Mr. Nick Johnson playing 162 games. Do you think it's possible?
you cannot expect Nick Johnson on the field if you're a fan. I'm sorry. You just can't do it. We've had this guy. He's a homegrown product of the Yankee system. We know all about this guy. This is what he's going to do. He's going to show up to the 2003 World Series, and he's going to get picked off at third base by Pudge Rodriguez. He's a disgrace. I don't want him on my team. But he's here, so what are we going to do?
How about A-Rod? Is A-Rod still hungry for a championship, and or was that just a fluke last year in the postseason?
With him, it's all about being the best. And I think A-Rod is not going to stop until he feels, well, until he can't. He's not going to stop playing until he can't play anymore. But A-Rod will stay motivated because he wants to put up the 40 and 120 and 300 batting average. He wants to put all of these numbers up so that when you look at his stats at the end of his career, you can say there was nobody better than this guy. And he wants people to say that desperately.
All right, the fifth starter. Moving on to pitching. Fifth starter. Phil Hughes won the role. Do you think it was the right move?
Our fifth starter this season is going to be Phil Hughes, which was the right choice. I'm going to tell you why. Phil Hughes has better stuff than Joba Chamberlain. No disrespect. As a starter, better stuff as a starter. He walks less people because Joba walks the ballpark. Let's be honest. And Phil Hughes has a starter's mentality. You see him come out. He's poised. He's tough. He gets those tough outs. He always throws more pitches than he has to. He can really battle. Phil Hughes is the right choice for the future, folks. And when Andy Pettitte eventually does retire, we're going to need Hughes to step in there, and I think he can do that. And it's a great move to put Job in the bullpen now, have him as the eighth inning guy for 3 more years, let's say, and because we all know, folks, we knew it in 2007 when we saw what a stud this kid was. Joba Chamberlain is the heir apparent to Mo Rivera. Joba Chamberlain is the next closer of this franchise. We're going from 42 to 62, and that's what everybody knows. So in order for that to be a smooth transition, let's have him out there. Let's have him learn from the greatest of all time. Why not? It's a great move. I'm glad the Yankees finally woke up and smelled the coffee on this. Folks, Joba Chamberlain is not a starter. Once we saw him in 2007, we knew it. That man is a reliever, and he'll be one of the best. You give him a few years.
What's your opinion about Vasquez? What do you think about him in the postseason?
Javier Vazquez. Did I like the move? No. Of course not. And I'm going to tell you why. Because he is a choker. That's why. He pitched first in 2004, and yes, he went to the All-Star game, and he pitched very well the whole season. Then he comes in and he allows a grand slam to Johnny Damon in 2004 ALCS. We don't like the move. I think Vasquez does a lot of good things for it. He's a workhorse. He's going to throw 200 innings, so we can preserve the other guys, the Burnett's and the Sabathias throw a ton of innings, but we can preserve Burnett. We can preserve Pettit a little more, preserve Hughes' young arm, and just let a lot of the innings fall on Vasquez, which is it's good in that regard. But what I don't like is that when we get to September, October, stretch run, I don't see Vasquez pitching in the big games and not allowing grand slams to Johnny Damon or whomever it may be, and I'm not comfortable with him.
I like the bullpen. I have concerns about the bullpen, and I want to know: do you think the bullpen is going to hold up this season? They're part of the end.
Bullpen's looking solid. I mean, we've got the greatest closer of all time. We've got Chamberlain. We've got Robertson, who really performed well in the playoffs last year. That's going to give him a lot of confidence going into this season. We got rid of Phil Koch, which might have been the best bullpen move we've made. Kept Marte, who was absolutely stellar in the World Series, in the postseason period last year, but especially in the World Series. I mean, Howard couldn't sniff him. So our bullpen should be pretty solid. That's one of the strong points of our team, I would say.
Do you think the Yankees have a chance repeating for the 2010 season? Will we be there in October? And what are your October predictions?
Uh, of course, the Yankees have a chance to repeat. I try to say it humbly, but of course the Yankees have a chance to repeat. We have a chance to win the World Series every year. We're the Yankees. We have uh, money. And I'm sorry if you're not from New York and you root for the Twins or something, but it is what it is, guys. As for an actual prediction, Yankees win 101 games. They take the AL East. We beat somebody from the AL Central in the first round. I think we see. I think we see the Red Sox. I think we see the Red Sox in the ALCS, and that goes to 7 games, and hopefully we prevail. I've got us prevailing this time with Javier Vazquez not pitching Game 7. Kevin Brown started the Game 7 in 04, but with Javier Vazquez not making an appearance in the game. That'll be Sabathia, that's why we'll win. I've got a Yankees-Phillies World Series rematch with us winning in 5 games this time, just to show them who's boss, because a lot of Philly fans are really feeling confident, like, oh, they got Roy Halladay. That's tremendous. You had Cliff Lee. It's the same thing. You'll win the games that he pitches, and you'll lose all the other ones. We're a better team. So with that said, let's play ball. Let's enjoy the season, guys. Go Yanks, 2010 World Series champions.
I I couldn't agree with you more. I have the same World Series. I have the Phillies. I have the Yanks. I do have it in 6 games, but yeah, I hope we do. I hope we win too. And thanks everyone for watching. Uh, if you want to post any comments, have any discussions, feel free. And yeah, go Yankees.